Welcome to 365 Days of Movies with me, Cody. Today's day 4, and we're talking about Texas Chainsaw from 2013. Alright, you should be able to see, got it queued up there over on Netflix, next to Maniac, which I'll be watching here shortly, because I hear that movie's great. Texas Chainsaw is not a reboot, but a direct sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre from the 70s, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And the movie takes place in 2012. The story itself doesn't really make any sense, but essentially, there's the murders that happened initially in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and so the Sawyer family is hiding out because Sally, the girl who escaped at the end of the original, has called the police and all this stuff. So there's a militia that comes out that ends up burning their house down, and you get a little cameo with Gunnar Hansen and Bill Moseley. They're both in there. John Dugan's in there as Grandpa. They're only in it for about 2 minutes, though, and then they die. So, spoiler, only about 2 minutes in the very beginning of the movie. But in the rubble, they find a baby, and that baby is taken in by two of the militia. It's a couple that's in the militia, and they raise it as their own. Well, the thing is, she's one of the Sawyer clan, and she owns the estate that they actually initially owned. So when they're having a fight, they tell her that she actually owns a house, and she says, screw you guys, I'm moving to Texas to live at my family's estate or whatever. So she goes down there with no clue who Leatherface is or any of that story. And her friends, including Trey Songz, Trey Songz is in it, they go down to the estate, the Sawyer house, to really see, how good it is. They find it's a beautiful mansion. And when they're exploring, they find a really creepy basement. And guess what? Leatherface is still alive, just living in the basement. And I did say this movie takes place in 2012, which means Leatherface, even if he was 30 or 20, this movie takes place in 2012, so that's 39 years after the original release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So Leatherface must be pretty old. Also, even though it's 39 years after, the baby that they find in the rubble is only in her early 20s, so that's something that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense either. But yeah, so essentially, you have a whole bunch of plot points that don't make any sense, and they just put it together to get another Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie out. But they definitely had their hearts in the right place. It is very unintentionally funny and very, very entertaining. I actually really enjoyed at least the first two-thirds of the movie. The last third kind of fell apart. But it's awful. It's really funny. The gore is way over the top. It's really funny. You get to see someone get cut in half. And plus I think they show every kill scene in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the opening. So if you count those as kills, there's quite a few bodies for a Texas Chainsaw movie. But overall, it was a bad movie, but I liked it. I'd probably give it 2 out of 5 stars. Tomorrow I have the review of Freaked coming out, starring Randy Quaid, Bobcat Goldthwait, Brooke Shields, Alex Winter, and Keanu Reeves. And yeah, it's a comedy about a sideshow, so we'll see. You get to see Mr. T as the bearded lady on the back there. But I guess that's my review for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully I get a little bit better at polishing these blogs because I just kind of ramble on and on. If you have any tips for what I can do, let me know, and trust my opinion, but always verify. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.